Okay, so we have to start. We have our. Wow, that's
Boom, boom. Hi. That was good. Do it again. Do it again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your musicality.
Well, see, I still have my inner ear, so it's kind of like, you know, it's not 100%. I'm not going there.
All right, now that we've had an amazing intro, let's talk about these amazing cups.
Oh, God. These
Cheers.
are, yes, hey.
Here's the caffeine.
Here's the
Hers is decaf, mine isn't.
we need to thank Marsha Davies for our Empower cups. I mean, these are incredible. They are stainless steel lined and they're matching, and look at that, check it out. So thank you, Marsha. I just want to put the plug out there. This is about de-stressing for 2019.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people out there posting on social media about how sometimes making a goal for 365 days can be crazy stressful.
Yeah. You know, the old thing about losing weight and making sure that you've got everything together is like the #1 topic of what's getting done. We are just definitely have that problem.
So we wanted to talk about some de-stressors, but also kind of
like the cell phone.
Where are you? Sorry, that's part of the 2019 don'ts. Don't call. No, we do want you to call. That's not what I meant. Okay, so anyway, it's about not trying to make goals for an entire 360 days. 365 days.
How much caffeine have you had?
Time. But it's about, you know, kind of having chunks and goals that you can accomplish slowly. And I mean,
big dreams, small stepping stone goals.
Yes.
Gotta get that together.
That's a perfect way of putting it down. And actually, we're going to be sending out a really cool cheat sheet on setting goals. So if you're on our newsletter, you're going to be getting that soon.
Yes, and today we sent out a different kind of newsletter. We sent everyone depending on what kind of category they're in. So
we've now categorized you.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I know how much caffeine we have, right? So something very interesting.
These people like coffee. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't start drinking it until 3 years ago. So I just
coffee?
like it. Coffee was not on the.
I remember.
And we've been together for 5.5 years now, so it's been a long time. But I found something very interesting. How many of you know that dogs have 4 sets of nostrils to breathe in and out of for de-stressing?
Why don't you show us your nostrils?
No, we're not going there. But imagine, I adopted 3 puppies, rescued I should say, when they were 8.5 weeks old 2 years ago. And people thought that was going to be absolutely crazy that I was going to take on these little puppies. And to me, they were the difference of where not only I personally and the organization's gone, because I could relate to seeing the changes and effects of Sheba, the oldest, how she protected Priscilla from on the street when she was 10 weeks old.
I'm going to have to add little pictures of who she's talking about. So you
yeah. I like
actually, it's one of those things, too, where it's like when Desiree had 2, I was like, don't get the 3rd. It's going to get crazier. And she's like, I think I can handle it. I was in the same boat where I had 3, and I was like, this is easy, because I had 2 cats and a dog. And then I got another cat, and I had 4 babies, and it was like, oh, that was when things kind of got crazy in the mornings, and like that little extra 1 baby that kind of sets everything into more of a tornado in the morning. Well, but we're talking about the de-stressing effects.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that. You adopted a 5-year-old black cat who's blind.
Yes.
In Ohio?
In Ohio.
Flew the husband out there to go get this dog, this cat, sorry.
Cat, yeah.
So, and she walks the cat. So talk about every morning, takes the cat, puts on a leash. Desiree, an extra minute, I'm walking the cat. So these are things that calm us down and keep us focused and together.
Mm-hmm.
So 365 days we do this, yes, but it's a difference of keeping our life in check and not having the high volume, high octane, and oh, you're doing too much. I said, no. I got my fur baby, so when you see me post, it's because my fur babies want me home.
It's true. Now that we've totally talked about our kids for way too long, what was the other one that we were talking about? Oh, exercise. Exercise is another way of de-stressing in 2019. Like, for me, I have been exercising a bunch. And not only does it keep me awake during the day, but it keeps me really
That's why you're drinking so much
happy.
caffeine.
Well,
Oh, we had to do the brand for Empower, so we just had to keep that together. So I just understand.
I do, but I don't actually. Well, I do drink a lot of caffeine, but I mean, I don't really feel like caffeine really changes. Like, I feel like when I exercise, I feel uplifted all over. Like I'm awake. Like my body feels like it's buzzing. And with caffeine, it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna like, my eyes are forced open and I can't actually fall asleep. But with like exercise, I'm like, everything's alive and it feels so good.
Do you know that you're supposed to drink caffeine before you work out? Do you know also that caffeine, for the most part, makes people who are high strung calm down and relax?
I think it really depends on the person.
It very could well, but I do know that is actually a fact that when you drink caffeine, the issue is that it's supposed to relax people who are very hyper, people who have a lot of anxiety. But I can tell you, for me personally, if you think of giving me caffeine in any form prior to getting speaking, when I first get up in the morning, don't bother. It'd be like, can't do that. It's like hot tea, hot water.
Wait, you want to do that again?
Otherwise, it becomes an issue. So what we're trying to say is, set small goals, de-stress, give yourself
Adopt.
Found some incredible doggy little shows that we're going to show.
Oh yeah, she has been literally tossing facts around with dogs all day today.
Yeah,
Fact
200
number 1.
times smelling.
They're actually really fascinating. I want to know where the cat channel is though.
I'll have to look that one up. You know, all these
Okay.
public PBS and all these other great stations. But do you know that a dog climbed up 15 feet to get a ball and can do it? Another dog jumps 50 feet off a cliff to go into the water because its owner does it and feels completely comfortable, or does parasailing and sits on its lap like, this is just so cool. So
Crazy.
if you have a special trait that you love to do, the dog will blindly follow you because of love. So de-stress means find something that you can do it with someone else and just take that moment away.
You know what's interesting is before we got on this camera, I looked up some stats, and there was a company that did like interviews with 100 cat owners and 100 dog owners, and I don't know how they calculated the stats, but pretty much,
Just about any number.
well, you know, stats are tough. Stats are really tough because it was like pretty much the cats went out on everything, both on being more of a stress reliever and being more stressful. I was like, how does this work? How are the cats better in all these scenarios, which I agree with, and then also like more annoying in these other scenarios? I was like, I don't understand that.
So you don't realize
Mm.
that statistics can be skewed any way they want.
Well, that's why I always am very hesitant with statistics.
It's called due diligence. You got to do your own due diligence.
And it's
You can't do
sad
everything.
because sometimes they're accurate and sometimes they're skewed, and you don't know. You gotta go to places like NAWRB to get facts that you can trust.
Whoa, like the plug. So now that we've gone on forever, and we want to talk about de-stressing. So
Yeah.
de-stressing means set easy goals, but goals. Continue the upward trajectory.
Give yourself rewards too when you've set those small goals. Like, don't undersell yourself. Like, if you have a goal to do, say you're making videos for your social media, and you have a goal to do 5 of them a month, but you know you can reward yourself every time you complete one video and upload it. It's a big deal, and it takes a lot of work.
You used to write 500 words a night and give yourself a
I'm
star.
actually, Desiree, thank you for remembering that. I am starting a new book, and I am trying to set some kind of goal that I can do. I'm going to try to do something like 1,500 words a week, which can give me that's like 500 words every, like I could do 3 nights. And that's doable because then I have some nights where it's like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
That's
And if
top
I
of
need
your
to-
swing dancing that you do like 4 hours a day. That's besides commute. That's besides doing creative arts. I don't know.
I have like a chart that I can like cross out the things as I do them so that I actually do them
And
all.
you have 4 books now, 3 books. This will be your 4th book.
Well, there's some on my desktop that'll probably never see the light of day, so I mean, I don't know if those count. I mean, they're written, but I don't know if they count.
You mean like a famous singer who has like 2,000 songs that they haven't released?
Sure, yeah. That's what
Anyway,
I meant.
enough. So we want to start it off back to our blue cups and mugs, And thank you for watching. And
Happy
we'll do-
2019.
Hey, toast, toast.
Yeah, here we go again.